Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Indie Horror Speedruns
Hell,
podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy motherfucking Saturday. Usually we do shows on Fridays, but today we're here live on a Saturday. So, with that said, I'm here with three very special co-hosts, man. To my left I have my homie Vacwix. Below me I have Mild, and next to Mild we have the homie Pelez, man. How are we all doing, man? Welcome. This is episode 6 of the Indie Horror Speedruns podcast. How are we doing? What's been going on? It's been a couple weeks since we ran a show, man. So, Vac, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. Not much to say though. I haven't really been doing much.
Hmm. You've been doing a lot of games stuff though, right? For Straight Line Massacre, etc., right?
Mm-hmm.
top tier
Yep.
game.
Let's fucking get it.
You know it.
We'll definitely talk about that later in the show for sure. Mild, how are you doing?
I'm alright. I'm here. I also have not been doing a whole lot, like speedrun wise, anyway.
Yeah, right.
Because I was going super hard, like finding new games there for a little bit, so I kind of burnt myself out again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that
get that.
happens. That happens.
Yeah, definitely. Les, how are you, my friend?
I say I'm doing fairly well. Fairly well. Nothing too new. Like I'm still on my speedrunning hiatus, but still gaming.
Yeah,
How it
right.
goes.
You're always gaming for sure.
Always gaming.
Um, yeah. So we have a special show for you guys today. A really special show, but we have some IHS updates that we want to get through first. So, let's talk about new content, man. Because, like I said, it's been a couple weeks since we ran a show. So, let's talk about what we got planned. Let's talk about some new stuff. I think the first thing that we should really discuss is Runner of the Month. So, if you don't know, we actually premiered a new segment on Indie Horror Speedrun socials and in our Discord where we kind of show some love to a runner per month. So, Runner of the Month was a segment where we kind of wanted to spotlight people that are keeping not only our community active, but their own communities. They're keeping speedrunning in general, indie horror speedrunning, etc. So you'll be seeing a new runner every single month, and this is an idea that we kind of had for quite a while, but we didn't really know how to execute it. But our first runner of the month for February of 2024 is Vacwix. So big dub for Vac, man. Let's go.
Should have done a
Um,
drum
Thank
roll.
you. Thank
yeah,
you.
a little fucking wham blam. But yeah. So huge shout out to Vac. But expect a new runner every single month. Just to spotlight some hardworking individuals that really care about speedrunning, right, in our community and literally every single community fucking ever. You know what I mean? So um, that'll
For
be something
sure.
that you guys see like every single month. But thoughts on runner of the month, my friends?
You can't see it with Vac's name because he has the mod role, but you do get a fancy like role with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like show off a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What
Oh, I
color
just
we make
noticed
it?
that.
Pink. Make it
Yeah, it's
pink.
pink. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's lit.
So runner of the month is live, my friends, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy about that for sure. So, that'll be something again, like I said, we continue to do throughout 2024 and for the foreseeable future. So look out for new runners of the month, 100%. So I think the next kind of big thing that we got to discuss is our next marathon.
Hey.
Whoa, already?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'll be something that we kind of dive into here right now, actually. So, we've had a couple questions. We've had a couple people ask when is our first marathon, or no, not first. I'm sorry. Our next marathon. When is our next event? Yada yada yada. Um, that's been a pretty big talk for the IHS staff for quite some time. But we finally came up with a plan and how we're going to construct it. So, without further ado, I would like to announce that we are hosting a marathon this summer. Indie Horror
But
Speedruns
Zom,
Summer
is it gonna
Marathon.
be IHSM 2024? Is it
Let's
gonna
go.
be, or is it gonna be Oh, just kidding. Sorry.
So, we're gonna do a summer marathon, like Plez mentioned, but we are still going to continue with our main marathon at the end of the year. So we're gonna have a summer version, and we're gonna have the end of the year version. So again, this is still in rough planning, but we kind of wanted to break the ice with you guys now, right? So it's not going to be as big as Indie Horror Speedruns Marathon. I think we're going to keep it pretty limited, like 6 to 8 hours, as opposed to the normal 12 that we usually do.
Or
Um,
16.
yeah, or 16, right? So you guys
16
know
was crazy.
that our way bigger events run super fucking long. So this one's gonna be a bit shorter, but we still wanted to run an event with you guys and for you guys during the summer. So over the course of April, May, and June, we're gonna be ironing out some details. You'll see submissions go live. You'll see a couple flyers go live, and all that good stuff. Um, so yeah,
We'll have
that's
a
kind of a
page just like we do for our big marathon to submit to.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Submissions will always be the same. Again, we're gonna have a flyer and all that good stuff available for you guys, so you guys kind of like understand like what's going down and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah. Any thoughts on the summer marathon? Anything you guys wanted to add on there? Because that's gonna be fun.
Do we have a certain theme for it, or is it gonna be, free for all,
Um,
just horror?
We
Great
kind of
question.
talked about themes, but I think we kind of decided just like just a normal marathon, just smaller,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
kind of whatever goes. I mean, we're obviously gonna go through and pick, but yeah, I think it'll just be like whatever gets submitted, kind of deal.
Right.
Yeah, I've talked about this in the past, but I feel like it's a good because we have like sub categories of the Discord, right? Like there are certain people who are only here for one game, and that allows them to like break into the mold. You know
Participate
what
a
I'm
little bit,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah, and participate and like show everyone here what they do. Some people may never look at the Last Faith channel or the fucking
Like the Dev
you know.
Flush guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
And on every channel
yeah.
on YouTube,
yeah.
but Dev
But yeah, I think it's a good way to help those people, break in and really feel like a part of the community potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. So, again, kind of rough in planning, but that's what's next, my friends. That's our next kind of big deal. So expect some summer event details relatively soon. Again, planning is going to go into April and May, so you guys should see a flyer relatively soon. But make sure you join the Discord and follow all our socials to make sure that you're up to date and all that good jazz. You know what I'm saying? So, runner of the month, summer marathon coming up. Lots of real big things going on in IHS, man. Which is nice. So, I'm happy to get back on track, but I think the good bulk of our show is going to be discussing a little bit more serious topics here. Um, so, if you guys are ready to dive in, I think we should definitely dive in.
Swan diving in this bitch.
Swan diving. I agree.
Go ahead and get into it.
Let's do it.
I agree. So, recently there was some, I guess, drama you could say around the IHS community, with a developer of a indie horror game that we were recently grinding and playing, and I think there's no better way to start this kind of debacle, um, than with the homie Vac, because Vac was the one who originally got swindled and fucking made to be, it just felt like shit. So Vec,
Catalyst.
yeah, catalyst is a great word. So tell us about the Niven situation and let's talk about it. So how did this start exactly?
Basically, I was scrolling through itch, and I normally go through like the new releases, just see like what games are being released, see if I can find a cool speed run or whatever. And I saw a game called Perfect Spot, and it looked well made, so I decided to play it. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. And then after my first playthrough, I started looking around for glitches, and just stuff,
Like most speedrunners do.
skips.
As you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just playthroughing, playing through the game again,
Yeah.
and I figured out that you can actually climb on a lot of objects just by sort of walking into it. And then I realized you can interact with things from like 12 miles away. So I combined both of those and I found a cool skip where you can climb on top of the car and skip a bunch of the walking.
Right.
And this allowed me to beat the game in like a minute and a half. I was pretty satisfied with that time, and I posted it to YouTube and to the game page. And then when I woke up the next day, the infamous comment was under my video, and I was just completely banned from Niven's just itch page completely.
Hmm.
Something like a meme now. The
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the comment. Yep.
Literally, it's like a
Um.
copy pasta.
Yeah, definitely a copy pasta for sure. So, just to give you guys some context, I'm actually gonna pull up the comment right now along with the viral tweet that Mild actually made here. So let's pan over and check this out. So on screen right now for those of you that are listening, um, we have a comment from the developer of Perfect Spot saying, "Oh wow, that's cool. Not really. Also, I can complete it even faster, so that's probably mid speed. Also, I did report you on my game's page and banned you. Sorry, also not sorry. I am the developer and screw you. Cheers." Wow.
Oh, I love that.
That is fucking quite the entrance for sure. For somebody that's uploading content of your game. So the story goes that came into the IHS Discord and kind of alerted the community of this. And
Hmm.
Mild, who we have in the call right now, actually um felt some type of way, and I agree with Mild here. And Mild said in a tweet that has since gone viral in the speedrun community, some devs are really rude for no reason just because you decided to play their game fast. This didn't happen to me, just someone in the indie horror speedruns community, but it's sad to see regardless, giving indie horror devs a bad name. Mild, um thoughts on your tweet, and why did you tweet this? And I'm sure Niven would like to know. So definitely, let's talk about this because you decided to tweet this out because of a very valid reason, correct?
Well, okay, so I went to his game page and I posted the screenshot of his comment, and I basically just asked him like, why? Why'd you post it? And then I immediately, like, as soon as I made the comment, almost like I got banned from his page.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see comment. Like, I can go on the page and I can interact with it and I can download the game and everything, but I can't see like comments or do anything like that. So I don't know if I got straight up banned or if he just like blocked me from commenting on it or whatever. But
Hmm.
um, after he did that to me, I went and I made the Twitter post.
Yeah.
Obviously I wasn't expecting it to get like 40,000 views, but yeah, it kind of blew up. Like people were, I kept having like random people interact with it, like Meta and just different people like not Maxi, maybe Maxi. It was just random people that were kind of bigger, and they were like retweeting it and stuff. So that's kind of why it popped off like it did. But
Yeah.
nobody was happy about it, and everybody thought it was pretty weird that he did that, and then they started kind of memeing it. Well, a lot of people were memeing it, and they kept going to the game page and to his trailer for the Perfect Spot game. I mean, the game had only been released like a day or so when all this started happening.
Right.
So the trailer was super super fresh, and everybody was commenting on it about speedrunning it and like just fucking with him, and he was deleting all the comments that were mentioning speed runs on the Perfect Spot trailer. Eventually he even like removed the trailer because so many people were commenting on it. um I don't know. I think he pretty much banned everybody from the game page too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I would assume he did anyway, because anybody that mentioned speed running kind of got the axe. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, he was doing that to everybody, and he was going and he would just like message everybody, anybody who made a comment. He was asking them like why they were doing it and stuff. Because I don't think he didn't realize that the tweet was made at first, so he was just getting like bombarded by all these random people, you know.
Right.
And then I think he assumed that it was like me
A
and Vax
coordinated attack or
friend. Yeah, we
something.
all
Yeah,
coordinated
yeah,
this big
that's what he
attack
thought
on
it
him.
was.
Yeah,
And he thought I was like the ringleader sending
The
all of you guys
ringleader is
after him.
crazy.
Like I didn't even know that Mild had tweeted about it until like I actually went in and messaged Niven just to see like if I did actually do something wrong, and just see if we could fix the issue. And
It's like, tell him
honestly,
to stop. Get him to stop.
this
They won't
grown
stop.
ass man, like
Mm-hmm.
he is a grown man, was acting like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Like he went in, like I asked, like, hey, why'd you ban me from the game page? And he's like, oh, so you're the one who made this child cry. I had a moderator. And you made him cry and quit because of the comments. This is all your fault.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
yeah, which I thought was insane because he was
Yep.
blaming it all on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like you can see, I even posted that tweet. Oh, I guess it's not up now, but it was. I posted it super late. It was almost like 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that at night. You know, so I was just like, I was just chilling, you know, and it was like, I just wanted to know why he made the comment because I was like, it's a shitty comment to make. Like, why did you do it? And then he banned me, so I was like, you know what, fuck this guy.
Right.
So that's why I made the Twitter post, you know. And
Yeah.
then
No.
I went to
Fucking.
bed after that and woke up and it just blew the fuck up when I woke up.
Wake up and went viral.
Literally.
So, as much as I do love drama, we're not a drama show, right? We only address drama or any kind of serious issue that kind of poses a bigger question, right? And I think this is going to lead into a better discussion of developers kind of getting the wrong idea of speedrunners. I think this is a perfect case of that. And I think that Niven completely is misunderstanding what speedrunners exactly do, like to games and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So for Niven, so a little bit more backstory. He made a video on all of the drama, kind of like on himself. It was like an exposed video, you know, when all this was going down,
Yeah.
and everything that he was saying was he he thought he was doing the right thing because he saw or he sees speedrunning as mockery. He thinks that anybody that's speedrunning a game, they're doing it just to like get back at like get at the dev or like it's just it's
Yeah.
just mocking the game. That's all he thinks.
Yeah.
So in his eyes, like he was justified because he thought that Vac was like attacking his game essentially by speedrunning it. He thought he was like shaming the game or something, you know.
Right.
So that's why he was
Oh,
upset about it, which doesn't excuse what he said at all. But like that's what he believed. So he thinks that speedrunning as a whole is just mockery. Like anytime you speedrun a game, you know you're just doing it to fuck with the dev basically is what he thinks,
Yeah.
which obviously isn't true, but that's how
No.
he
100 likes on this video and we'll react to it.
100. Nah. Wait. Actually, Plez is right. 100 likes. We'll pull that video up and we'll dissect that video for sure. 100 likes on this one. 100%. But
He is a doozy.
I think that again, like much like Miles said, with a little bit more of that backstory detail, this is a bigger problem, right? I don't think that devs come along like this very often. This isn't a common problem. A lot of devs actually enjoy speedrunning. They love our communities. They love how much we play their games because, as we all know, especially people in the speedrunning community, we are some of the most active players on any game. We get the most longevity out of your game out of anybody. A casual downloads your game and loads it up, plays it maybe twice, fucking deletes it. Speedrunners, bro, we're resetting on this game for months.
Yeah, to be fair, the casual they record their gameplay. You know, they upload it onto YouTube with a little bit of fright, a little bit of ha-has.
Yep.
And then they're like, you know, they delete it right off the PC. It's
Yep.
like, I know some of y'all have games on your PC that are less than 2 minutes long that have been on there for years, knowing that you're about to go back and play it at any moment.
Right? 100%. Like like even my pin fucking desktop right now is games that I've been playing for months, bro, if not years. Like
Years at this point.
yeah, 100%. So when it comes to speedrunning and how this all operates, bro, like we're some of the most loyal people to developers. And
Zom was just talking about how he's just downloaded a demo again.
yeah,
That we know is not being we know it's not being finished, but we enjoy it so much we play
right.
it. So.
Right. 100%. And I just again, like I preface this by saying that these devs don't come along very often. Like this isn't a common
We've had
problem.
like I can count on one hand probably how many that we've had like just real asshole devs.
Yeah, it's not
Mhm.
common. It's not a lot cuz most devs do
who, like,
understand.
specifically hate speedrunning for some reason. Like
Yeah,
like
and
one of the other ones that I can think of, and I'm not gonna like name names.
Name
but
them.
drop it.
they would come in. They would basically like attack Zom every time he'd stream the game, just because he was speedrunning it.
Mhm.
And it's like he's playing your game every single day on stream, like for other like for himself and other people to see. Like every
Yeah.
single day you join and you see him playing your game. What's wrong with that? Like where's the issue?
Yeah, and
Like
fuck you, buddy. You know who you are.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, nah,
I
for
think they've
sure.
since kind of come around, but for a long time, like they were just the worst. Like they would just come in and just shit talk and then just dip. Like as
Yeah.
soon as they saw like we were playing the game fast. And
Yeah.
on that game, I can't. I've put in at least 100 hours in that game, at
If
least.
not more.
You know, and I've only done a handful of speed runs, but I mean I just sat there and just played the game. You know, I
Mhm.
just and just to like throw that in somebody's face and like shit on them because they play it in like a different way than you think it should be played. You know, that's the big issue. It's like
Yeah. A little bit
Because
weird, man.
at the heart of it, you should enjoy people enjoying what you've made, no matter how they're enjoying it. Like it's not negative in any sort of way,
right,
but
like
unless you take it that way.
Yeah.
yeah. Like it's one thing if the person that was speedrunning it was just sitting there shitting on your game, and then you were like, "Well, hey, fuck that guy." Like that's different. But if they're just playing your game and enjoying your game, like just because they're doing it fast, I don't see why that's. I can't understand how that's an issue. You know, like I
Yeah.
Mhm.
get when you're making a game, I'm sure you have a vision for it, and you have a way that you want to see it done and you want to see it played, but like not everybody's gonna do that. Even if they're not speedrunning, they're not gonna play it exactly like you think it should be played. You know. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. I think again like it's just more of a statement. The fact that we're talking about this is because like I want any future devs to know and any current devs that speedrunners do not play your games to disrespect, to mock, to make fun of any of your games. Like bro, like we cannot do what developers do, right? But when it comes to speedrunning, speedrunning is a niche within a niche. So video games are just a niche in general, right? And then you want to talk about speedrunning, like speedrunners are nerds. We're always going to be nerds. So we're going to look for the fastest way to break your game. And by break your game, we don't mean it in a disrespectful way. Like that's our goal. You could break a AAA game, you could break an indie game, you could break any kind of game. It doesn't really matter. Like out the box, we're going to figure out ways to beat this game fast because that's what we love to do. We love this. Like so I'm not really like understanding the math of somebody who's developing a game that wants to gatekeep their own game. What the fuck?
you essentially just took a whole community and said, fuck you. Like I don't want you playing
Yep.
my game. Don't touch my game. Get away from me. Like, and I mean,
Like
we're not like like just mad. I mean, we have 600 people in here. That's even if they're obviously not all active and they're obviously not all going to play the game. But even if a quarter of them decided to play the game, I mean, that's a decent chunk of people that you're having just like that you're just forcing away from your game forever. You know.
right.
I can't tell you how many people from that like um that I was seeing like comment on that Twitter post that were saying like, wow, I never heard of this game, but now I definitely don't ever want to play it. I never want
Mhm.
to have anything to do with this. Like
Yeah.
I never want to have anything to do with this like
Yep.
it's all because of one comment. You know, I mean, and it wasn't even like Vac did anything wrong. I mean, you just
No.
basically said, "Hey, like
Mm-hmm.
I did your game fast," you know, and like I did the same because I want to kind of talk about that because I did the same thing with the dismantled game, right? Like they don't have it to where you can just post comments. They have it to where you have to like post a thread or
Form.
whatever
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
yeah. Form. Yeah.
Yeah, on there on yeah. So I named it Speedrun. It just says Speedrun, and then I posted like the video and said like, "Yeah, I really enjoyed your game. Like, did a speedrun of it." And they said like, "Hey, like I'm so happy that you're speedrunning my game. I love watching speedruns. I actually saw your video and I watched the whole thing." Like they were
Yeah.
super into it, and they were super nice about it, and they enjoyed me playing and speedrunning their game. And like another dev, it's actually in our server. The Lost Life dev.
Wonderful dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's real
He's
nice.
amazing. I mean, he came in and he saw what we were doing, and he helped us specifically. Like he was patching stuff, but he made it in a way to where we could still, like he made a special speedrun version for us. Like he implemented a timer. Like he added settings specifically for us. Like he did all this
Yep.
stuff for speedrunners.
And
Because
that
he
in
saw that
itself
like
makes
how
it
much
so
we were.
unique. Sorry.
Right. No, I was just,
Mm-hmm.
like that he could see like how much we were enjoying and how much we were playing his game, and like he wanted to keep that, like
Yeah. I agree, man.
I think at the baseline of it, like there are very, very, very rare cases where like you're being forced to play a game, right? Whether it be like a competition or maybe like a little competitive with your friends and you feel compelled to play a game.
Yeah.
But 95, 99% of speedrunners, if they truly don't enjoy your game, no matter the bickering, the RNG resets, whatever it may be, like someone who doesn't want to be on your game won't be on the game.
Facts.
And
as
if
soon
they're
as
on
it's
your
not
game,
enjoyable anymore for me, I stop playing it.
yeah,
Facts.
and if it's a good game, it's a good game, and they're on it and playing, and like there's just so like they enjoy your game, your goal is accomplished. There's no reason to be upset, no matter what they're doing on it.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree, man. I agree. So I just kind of wanted to publicly address that and really have an open discussion with you guys about that because I don't think that Niven represents all devs, but I do think that they need to be addressed because us as speedrunners, and I speak for 90% of speedrunners when I say this, we're not disrespecting your games. We don't have a goal of disrespecting anyone's hard work. Our hard work in speedrunning is just as important as your hard work in development. So as much time as we put into our runs is as much time as you're putting into actually building this game. We have no interest. I'm going to say it again. We have no interest in disrespecting anyone's game. We might not like a game, da 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 da. It might not be a speed game, whatever, whatever. But we're never out to be malicious. And Vac, I know for a fact too. I know for a fact because Vac is also a developer, and Niven didn't know that when he said that to Vac. He didn't know that. Vac wouldn't do that because Vac is also a developer, so Vac understands how this works, right?
And what he put
Yep.
into it.
Right. So
Yeah, I know what type of work would go into a game like that.
mhm.
Like just chaining events together, like you go to point A to point B. When you're playing a game, you don't think about that. It's just like
Yeah.
this happened, then this happened, and I can't do this until I do that. But all of that must be completely connected. It is a lot of work and a lot of planning that goes into making these games.
Right.
And I would do nothing to ever disrespect somebody for doing that.
Right.
Even super small games, I mean, it takes a decent amount of effort to get it running. Like
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Like, so us as speedrunners and even like a niche speedrunning community, we want to make that very clear that it's not ever meant in that type of way. If you see somebody who's a speedrunner and says they want to break your game or I just broke this or da 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 da, it's slang. It's not meant to be derogatory. It's not meant to disregard anything you've ever done in any game. Ever. It's just
it's
not.
my favorite part of speedrunning. Like, I mean, getting a good time is one thing. I mean, it's great, whatever. But like
Right.
finding glitches, like actually useful glitches that save time in the speedrun, that is my all-time favorite thing to do. Like,
Mild has always been that person. I've been a part of IHS with
I'll sit
Plez
there for
since 2021, and Mild has always been that person that loves to break down games and find ways to complete them faster. Even if Mild isn't the one who's getting record or getting the best times or et cetera, et cetera. They get their dopamine from finding ways to crack the code almost. You know what I mean? It's a natural rush for us as a community to figure this out. And
And if I don't enjoy the game, I'm not gonna sit there and jump into walls for hours and like
You
Right.
won't see an
I'm not
upload.
gonna do it.
right,
know?
you won't see an upload. Right, that's a great way to fucking put it. Like, that's what I mean. That's exactly why Vac fucking even uploaded that. Like, you can go back and see the
Yeah.
tweet that the screenshot is from a world record video.
Yeah.
What is your
Former world
problem?
record.
Like, so, bro, like, to me, man, like, look, as much as I want to roast this dude and put him on the fucking spot, I understand where he's coming from. I'm not going to sit here and fault him for taking offense to somebody, you know, X, Y, or Z. But what he did, you're just ruining your own brand.
Just gotta be more understanding.
That's it, bro. You do. Like you're just
The
ruining
thing
your
that
own
gets me
fucking brand
is
at that
doing
point.
it publicly too.
Right. Like it'd be a
It would
different
be
story.
if you just like messaged back and was like, "Hey, buddy, I don't like you speedrunning
Right,
my game. Screw you."
right.
It'd be
Different
different. It would
story.
be good, but
R-
it would be different. But
Yeah.
you did it publicly. Like
Yeah.
you just
Sorry,
shouted
not
it to the
sorry, you're
whole
banned,
world.
buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you
And
know
he said
what?
cheers at the end. That shit was crazy.
Yeah,
saying
cheers. Yeah,
after that.
cheers. Cheers these fucking
That's
balls.
crazy.
Get the
Like, so
fuck out of
passive
here.
aggressive.
Yeah, no, that shit was fucking weird, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, the more we talk about it, the more I get disgusted with it. So again, not even if you do watch this and if you do see it in the future, do better, right? And if you have any issues with speedrunners, take it up privately, bro. Just do that. But again, just know that no speedrunner on this fucking earth is doing this to your games to make a mockery. Okay? It's none of that. So, again, big shout out to all the devs that actually care about our communities and actually care about their games and don't try to fucking harass us for speedrunning your games, okay? Thank you. But for the ones that the very rare ones I might add, like I said, like this isn't like a common occurrence, but there is, you know, these one or two that we got to call out that don't understand speedrunning as a whole, right? So
This has been the craziest one. Like the other ones, I mean, were rough, but like I don't know. This one was just kind
Yeah.
of over the top.
yeah, it
I mean,
was,
it
man.
was only one comment, but then everything else that followed after that was crazy too. Just how he handled everything.
Mm-hmm.
Double down.
500 likes and we'll get Niven on the podcast for in the future. Right?
100
Like
likes
the
for
video.
for the fucking breakdown. 500 for Nevin as the motherfucking guest, and let him spit his fucking bullshit that he was talking about there. But again, memes aside, I understand where he's coming from, but was he right? No. And I'm like, we're here to kind of set that record straight and kind of remind everybody that speedrunners are not here to disrespect anything. So that's that on that.
A
Agreed.
good little segue into our next.
Yeah, exactly.
topic.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
before we go into our next topic here, any thoughts on the Niven topic that we kind of missed? Anything else that you guys wanted to bring up about this individual?
No hard feelings. I
No,
mean,
no hard
you know,
feelings at all. No.
It is what it is at this
No.
point. And
Mhm.
we're not like going into it to try to bash the guy again, but like
No.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Uh,
it's
I-
it's
you know,
more of a
make it
defense of
known
speedrunning as a
that we're-
whole.
yeah.
Like, we can't have devs out here spreading this narrative that speedrunners like to break your game to be disrespectful. That's not what it is. That's false.
Because I want to say that, like, I mean, we have all found glitches. All four of us have found glitches in games, right? And sometimes that end screen, all you won, isn't as satisfying as finding like the perfect glitch that
It never
just
is.
happens to work. Like it just happens to work in the specific way that makes the game. Oh, you just saved this just because this and this and this all work together,
Just
and
happen to all line up.
there's
yeah.
like
Right.
there is some dopamine there that you'll never get from like an end game screen. You know what I'm saying? Or
I've been
Right.
chasing the ABB2 hype or the high from that game since we started playing it. I can't get it back. Can't find it.
This
Right.
man's an addict.
Yeah, man.
Searching on my
So
arm and shit, man.
I I don't know what else to say. Like again, people like that don't come across our table very often, but um again, like we don't like talking about this kind of shit, but it's got to be addressed because speedrunning needs to grow. And I think that's where we're going to lead into our next topic, man. So,
Yeah.
let's talk about people in the speedrunning community and just maybe smaller speedrunning communities in general that are kind of entitled.
Chapter 2,
Chapter
not just
2.
the devs.
Not just the devs, right? Not just the fucking
Runners
devs.
too.
So, I man, like
I think it's like speedrunning is a very niche. I mean, it's gotten a lot bigger over the years, but it is kind of a niche hobby.
still
And yeah, and then we're also, you take a niche hobby and then you take a niche corner of that niche hobby, and that's kind of where we're at. I mean, not everybody's into horror games, and especially not everybody's into 2-minute trash indie horror
facts.
games.
Facts.
So it's like we do get some interesting people in here sometimes. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And look, man, I think we'll preface this by saying indie horror speedruns wasn't created as some kind of like clout chase. This isn't some kind of like after school activity for us. Like what we have in this community is very special to us. Um and I think when people come along that want to spread narratives that aren't true, much like Vac has on screen now, beans, very much spread beans. Um
Yep.
Not
there's
being.
there's another topic at hand here. So recently we had an individual in the indie horror speedruns community that wasn't a fan of how we handled things and hasn't always been a fan, right? By the name of Droogie Forever. Now, Droogie
Shit.
publicly had a altercation with a newer runner, and Droogie kind of went back and forth.
Brand new, like as
Ye-
soon as the person joined, almost.
Yeah, brand new runner, and Droogie's more of a veteran runner, and they were kind of being disrespectful to a new member of the IHS community. And like, I don't want to isolate a situation here, but I think it brings up a bigger topic of why we treat the community the way we treat them, and why we want people to be welcome in our community, and why we want people to be accepted in our community, and why we do things the way that we do. So, um, man,
It's not so much, at least for me, like obviously what he did in the server was not good, but it's what he did after he left that really bothers me.
yeah,
Like just the stuff he said,
yeah,
because it was like right after he got into it with that runner, he just left the server, he just up and left, like no rhyme, no reason. He was just like, screw you, I'm leaving, kind of thing. And I mean, like Zom said, he's been around for quite a while. Like he's not a new person in IHS. I mean, he was never like super active, but like he's been around for like a couple of years, like 2-ish years.
Yep.
right,
Yep.
So
Oh.
just for him to up and leave out of the blue was just odd,
yeah,
especially after him getting like into a little argument fight, whatever, with a brand new person.
right. So, again, this fight isn't really like the point of the conversation, right? Drugi got into a disagreement with a newer runner, and they kind of went back and forth. Drugi left the community, left the server. I had sent him a message, and I said, you should probably fix your attitude a little bit, and try to move a little bit better. Being a veteran runner in the community, right? Because much like these guys said, Drugi has been in IHS for 2 years, and he's been speedrunning for 4, I believe. So he's not new to speedrunning, and he's not new to new runners. But the way he
On top of
treated
that,
this
he's
new
an adult.
right, he's an
He's,
adult,
he's, he's a
right?
grown man.
Right. No, I agree. And we'll get to that. We'll definitely fucking get to that for sure. Because I want to talk about that too, but the way that he treated a new runner under our nose, I think needs to be addressed. Because like I said, this isolated situation, we don't normally talk about drama here on the show or ever. We're not a very drama-filled community, right? But when it comes to like serious topics at hand that I think deserve a little bit of attention, this is one of them, along with the Niven situation. So again, I want to make it clear that IHS is not a fucking daycare, right? But we welcome all new runners. We're not here to baby people. We're not here to da 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 da. We're not here to do any of that. We're here to make sure that if somebody is interested in speedrunning, no matter their age, size, this, no matter what, we get them the tools that they need to become a part of our community. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, whether it's your fucking 10,000 speed run or you don't know what live split is, it's like you're treated the same.
Right.
We've had some people
Okay.
who come in and are just like, I have never speed ran a game, and I
Yeah.
want like this game came out and I want to speed run it. Like,
Come
help
on
me,
in.
you know.
Come on in. Like that's what
And
we're here for.
not
And
everybody is going to agree. Not everybody's going to get along. I mean, it's just a fact. I mean, that's just how people are,
yeah,
right? But for that to be like, I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. If I joined IHS and I was like, I was trying to like speed run this game that I'd found or whatever, and my first interaction was somebody basically just getting pissed off at me and like
yeah,
being mean to me, I'd be
That would be
like,
dog shit.
yeah.
yeah, I'd
Like,
be like, well, I guess I'll fucking leave. Like, I'll
you're
get the fuck
right.
out of here, you know? Like,
Right. And that's what
Uh,
upset me about it so much. Not to cut you off, Liz, but that's what upset me
No,
like
you're
a
fine.
lot about this was I didn't want this new runner to kind of like leave IHS because that's not the environment that we want to facilitate. We want to facilitate a growing environment for new people. And we strive to do that. And for the most part, we do that. Like these are rare cases. But with that being so rare, we do want to address them. You know? So with this Drugi situation, man, I think he brought up a bigger conversation, and it was more so in private. Because when he left the server, he had sent me a message after I had sent him one. After I had checked him about his attitude, I said, you need to reevaluate your attitude and start treating people a little bit better. I can imagine that it's not gotten you very far in life. And he didn't like that. He had responded to me with, uh, shit, does anybody have the screenshot? What did he say? He had a whole paragraph about what he thought about IHS.
yeah.
And
He had been holding on to this shit for a while, so like, I don't know.
yeah,
This wasn't just some out of the blue thing. Like, he had been holding on to it for a minute.
yeah, and he had listed to me a whole lot of things he didn't like about IHS,
Yeah.
and you know,
I mean, do you want me to just read off? Like,
I mean, you can summarize it. Yeah, summarize it. What do we got in there?
I just replied to it since.
so
Right
he
there.
said, your server is full of children. Yesterday was strike 3. I don't need to fix my attitude. Your whole community needs to fix theirs. From the asshole that created the "Don't Be Afraid" issue, which what he's talking about there, I'm pretty sure is Dig made
Load
he made an
remover.
auto splitter, yeah, a
Yeah,
load remover
Mhm.
auto splitter for an old game, and I think it was pretty like a pretty dead leaderboard. Like, I don't think anybody was posting much on
It
it.
was years old. It had about 4 people on it total, and then I think 4. I might have been the 4th. So yeah, it wasn't very active. To retime those runs would have been
Right, but there was a
an hour or
huge,
two of work.
not I say huge. There was a like an argument between like him and Dig. Like, he wasn't happy about Dig making an auto splitter essentially because there was already runners on the board. Um, so
Mhm.
there was that, and then he said that um, me screwing up the Hope is Gone leaderboard is strike 2, which I don't know what that means because I looked at the leaderboard like quite a lot, and I can't figure out what could possibly be wrong with it besides like new people came in and beat his time by like quite a lot. Like, they beat his time by like 4 or 5 minutes, you know. Um, but yeah, he apparently got mad about something on that leaderboard. He removed his run from the leaderboard, and he never mentioned anything that he had, like any problem that he had. So it was like me seeing this message was the first time I knew that he had an issue with anything on that board. You know what I mean? Um, and then he says to that little bitch yesterday that only wanted to change my time because they knew it would give them the world record. I left the server, I removed your Discord from all my boards I manage, and I'm more than happy to say fuck off to you and everyone else that is in that entire community. Every single one of you are terrible people, so fuck off. You and every other entitled little shit in that hellhole can do whatever you want away from me. And I messaged him myself, and I
It's
would
so
just
crazy.
Pretty
and I just said
good.
like
Pretty
I
fucking
was
good,
like
huh?
I didn't know we had any issues, and also what you said was pretty uncalled for. And he never, I mean, he never responded or said anything back to me, you know. But yeah, that's what I mean. He had been holding on to all that stuff for a long time to say like 3 strikes, whatever, you know. So this wasn't new, but like nobody knew anything about it. Like I literally had no idea that he had any issue with anything that was going on in that leaderboard
I,
until this message, you know.
I
Like
think simply like this kind of breaks down to is that like there are some people who care about the times way too much, what the number says. Like I feel like
So
we're
true,
all in a
bro.
position now where we care about like the culture, and even though that sounds kind of goofy for this niche, but like like I've always been in a position where like if I do a run and I know there's time to be saved, I'm waiting to see that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting someone to not beat it because I'm the world record holder. You're not, it's more about like you want to see how far a game can go, and when it goes farther, you're supposed to celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? And make you want to work harder and not insult and be fucking salty because you have to load up a game that you sound like you hate in the first place to get a fucking another record that's a second faster.
Yeah.
Like it really should be when a game gets pushed farther, especially past what you thought it could be, it should be celebrated. And it's more about the like some people just care about what the number says way too much. It's like you can do that, right? But it's just not what we're about.
No, it's not. You're spot on with that, bro. Like I don't think that could have been said any better because, bro, I'm gonna keep it a whole buck with you, bro. Like people like that, like don't need to be in any speedrun community, not just ours, like just anywhere. Because if you're not gonna like help out new runners that are trying to like learn a game that you clearly have more experience with, I think that that's a big fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a big problem, and that's not what IHS is. Like
That's the kind of shit you use for motivation, not to fucking
yes.
immediately lash out.
Right, right. And as far as I know from the research that I did, Drugi is a grown man. This is a grown man
Mm.
talking to a new speedrunner like this. Like this isn't some little kid. This isn't some, you know, Joe Schmo on the block. Like, bro, let's help these new guys. No, like, am I fucking
Mhm.
crazy or what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, and I think if you're in that position and you do get beat, then show them who you are. Show them why you were first place in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, go
period.
Yeah.
show them.
Run it. For sure, run it. Because
Yeah.
if you're that good of a runner, you're going to beat anybody on any patch, any game, any day, any time, any setup. Period. If you're that talented, bro, run it. But there's no point to argue over like arbitrary rules and all this shit because of a new runner. Like, so again,
the whole argument was about like a new patch that like
yeah, it was stupid.
changed the start or something like that. There was like a little bit of a thing at the start, so the
Yes.
times were a little off,
Yes.
and that's what caused all of this. It's like the new guy came in and he was basically just asking like, hey, like our runs are different, you know, like can we change like your time or can we change something so they're more like in line with each other? And he didn't like that, and yeah, you see how it all turned out.
Mm.
My thing is like he says your server is full of children. Like even if it is full of children, I mean that is just i- at the end of the day we're playing video games, you know,
Yeah.
and we're
Mhm.
on the internet and we're in a Discord server. Like I mean the majority of people that are playing video games and are in Discord are probably I mean there is it's everybody, right?
Some of these
It's
people that are
everybody.
making games are kids. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Vac isn't
Exactly.
even that old.
yeah,
Yeah, I just turned 18.
That's what
Like,
I mean, bro. Like,
jailbait.
relax. Relax
Like
on the little guys,
cat
man.
mhm. Yeah,
cat's
like
way younger.
speedrunning
He's
is a
making games
competition.
like, you know.
Speedrunning is a competition, but we do it for fun, like
Right.
99% of the time.
Right.
Unless you're in like a paid tournament or something. Yeah, it's just for fun.
Right.
Nothing
It's a
like
hobby.
bragging rights and shit. Like it's
nothing
not that
happens if you get the
serious.
world record. Nothing
Yeah,
happens if you don't get the world record. I mean, you want the world record, sure, but it's not like the end of the world if you don't. I mean, you know.
Yeah. And I'm just going back to the fact that, like, if you're really going to be salty about your time being beat and you are completely ignorant to the fact that it could have been beat, then you just need to fucking hop right back on and get it back.
that's
Like,
it.
Yep.
there's no use of being salty about it. Like,
Really,
you
bro.
can, there's some of these dudes who don't speak a word to us. And once their time gets beat, there isn't no, they may not even be at GG's. You know what I'm saying? They just get back on.
Just
They
That's
just
see
get
so
it
back
pop
facts.
on.
up in the mod mod thing.
For real, it just run submitted by coin 2 seconds faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
that's all you need to
Fucking
do.
Zom and what's his name? Jerk.
Sucks. Oh,
Socks and Jur. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like there are runners that just don't say
there's no
anything.
bad talk.
No.
There's no
Say
bad
nothing.
talk.
No
'Cause-
words. Just
Because it's all pure competition, right? Because like me personally, like as Zom Slays, like that's why I love speedrunning is I love the competition, right? So I love the back and forth. But you won't see me getting toxic because, bro, if somebody bested my time, then that's what it is. What the fuck am I gonna do about it? You know what I mean? I need to get better as a runner. I need to get better at the game. I need to put more hours in. And if you're a veteran runner, I don't care what fucking community you're a part of, by the way. Mario, Silent Hill, this one, that one, bro, and you're acting like that, you need to get the fuck out. Because that's why speedrunning isn't growing. That's why speedrunning isn't fucking growing, is because of grown men that want to gatekeep random fucking shit to just. What do you get out of that? What the fuck do you
and
get out of
if
that?
you're trying to gatekeep, you better do it with your time and not no attitude.
Period.
That's the best way to do it.
Period. Like, I just can't even believe that this is a conversation. And people wonder why speedrunning isn't bigger than what it is. That's why. Because you have these individual communities, right? This is a bigger issue, and this is why we're even fucking talking about this, is because these communities have these individuals that act like this to new runners.
a lot of them are way worse than like.
Yeah.
I mean,
You could name a bunch of communities that are way worse than what we're talking about. And that's, again, Poppy, fucking Mario,
Bruh.
Silent Hill, this one, that one, bro. And a lot of these people, bro, look, man, all I'm saying is,
Can I interject for a second?
yeah, of course, please.
All right. But Poppy Playtime, it's no longer toxic. I am a moderator for it, and
right.
we've completely removed everybody who is toxic like that. You can join in as a completely new person, and people will help you learn the runs. We have like guides and all that kind of stuff. It is
So you
way
overhauled the
better
community
now.
kinda.
That's
Yeah,
actually
pretty much.
wonderful with such a
Yeah, that's-
popular game that
Because
no
everything that
doubt
I
has
heard
become-
about Poppy was terrible. Like,
Oh yeah.
anytime I heard a
it
story about
was.
Poppy Playtime, it was just the worst, the most degenerate, just awful people. Like,
That's when Ivan was still a moderator.
right. But
That's
you have
great.
that like we're saying in every community, even outside of speedrunning, just in communities, you have just the worst people, and they're just allowed to be there and just allowed to be awful. And I just don't think like if you're trying to build a community and try to like grow and get new people in there, like nobody wants to deal with those kind of people. You know what I mean? Like me joining the AVP Discord back in the day. Like not even just the one guy that I had an issue with. Like when the second I joined and asked a simple question, and he just basically told me I was like an idiot and I shouldn't play the game. It's like how is that productive for anybody? You know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird to think about. Like, it's like, so you want to be the number one person on a dead leaderboard with an unoptimal time. Like me personally, like when I get a time on something, I know, if I recommend a game something, oh, you can save time right here, you can save time right there. It's like I already know, and if I wanted to, I would keep grinding, right? But like,
Right.
you should want people to play your game. You should want real competition, and you should want to have a good time if you're going to argue with it like that. Like if you're going to get that way, then just play on the new update, get a better time, You know, get people who can actually run the game, and maybe some people show you what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Could you
Yeah.
imagine if I took like every one of these like 1 or 2 run leaderboards that I'm mod on, and I just like shit on everybody that tried to
every time someone beat it, you're like, you're a piece of shit.
yeah
Right, you just go the
winning
fuck
over.
in. Like,
But like some people are like, oh, this is the unbeatable. You know, we had one of those a long time ago, like the unbeatable speedrun.
Yeah.
It's every very rarely will you have a speedrun that is just completely unbeatable. You know, like somebody can eventually, even if it takes a long time, they can beat it. Like there is time to save.
Yeah.
Like the only games that I can really think of that you can get like down to where it can't have any more time saved, or like these like NES games and things like that, where there's
Yeah.
like, you know, but all these other games, there's definitely time to save, even
Yeah. I
if it's
mean,
very minuscule, very small, you know, very random time. Like
you got shit like
even if
super.
nobody finds new stuff, right? Like
Mm-hmm. I mean, but you got things like Super Mario Brothers that is fucking 20, 30 years old that people are
people are
still
still
beaten by a
finding
millisecond. You know what I'm saying? A
Yep.
it
few
wasn't even too
frames.
long ago they found like a brand new glitch that was gonna like reroute 120 star like the full game run.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's insane.
yeah, man.
But people that think that their run is unbeatable, or it is like they got the best time in the world, like I mean it may be a really good time, but I guarantee it's not
And
unbeatable.
bro,
Mm-hmm.
even if you do, that's cool and all, but don't talk to people like shit.
Right.
Like,
It doesn't give
like,
you the
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't even care if you think that. Like, go right ahead. Like, float your own head up all you want, but don't fucking come in
Mm-hmm.
and talk to a new runner like they're fucking stupid. Because that's what
And
Trugi did. Like,
yeah, and even if it is unbeatable, like encourage the people that are trying to match it. You know,
what the
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
fuck?
Like,
Like,
I mean that's the thing, people play games even if the speed run does look unbeatable, you know.
they
I
do.
mean, some
Mhm.
people go into it and they only want to play a game because they see like, oh, I can beat this really easily. You know, that's what some people
Yeah,
do. I mean, that's just the nature of things. You know, but like,
right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
There's a real life example that happened in IHS here of what should sort of happen. I did handle this a bit incorrectly, but haunted gas station, when my supposedly unbeatable time was finally beaten, uh, I it was a completely new runner. He'd only been in the server like a week or two, and he had beaten this incredibly good time. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't go up to this person and just start swearing
Yeah,
at him like you're a piece of shit.
how
I
fucking
did
dare
initially
you?
think they were a cheater, but I kept that private.
right,
Like I
right.
didn't
Yeah,
make them feel bad about it until I knew for sure like what was going down.
yeah. That's ideal. It's ideal.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's just not fair. It's not right. It's disrespectful, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Point in case being, don't be like that. And if you're in any speedrun community, bro, I promise you, there are way more talented runners out here that can do whatever you're doing times 10. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
we
Hmm.
need
There's
to.
always a bigger fish.
There always is. So you need to encourage your peers, right? And you need to bring these new guys up and introduce them to speedrunning in the proper way. Like don't do that, bro. And again, like if you want to get better at shit, that's fine. Go get better at shit, but you don't need to talk down on people while doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree. Completely
Like,
agree.
I think the part of his message that it still bothers me seeing it now is where he says that everyone in our like us and everybody in the community are just terrible people, and I don't even understand where that comes from, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
it still bothers me because I don't think it's true, but like I don't know, I just don't want to. I don't ever want to come off like that, you know what I mean? Which I don't think we do, but I don't ever want it to be like that, you
And
know.
yeah.
in my opinion, I feel like for some reason this gentleman has been simmering. Like those things irked him, and he was waiting for strike three.
Yeah.
Like he was waiting. Maybe he had a bad week or something.
Yeah,
You
he
know what
was
I'm
just waiting
saying?
for something else to
Mhm.
happen.
And
Just to,
when he goes to lash out, like all this comes out, and then extra. Like I'm just gonna,
right.
you know,
Fuck
not
you,
only
fuck
you are a
John.
piece of shit, but fuck everybody
Yeah.
you're affiliated with.
Everyone you know, everyone you love.
Everyone you
For
passed
Fuck
on the
all of
street,
it.
like everybody.
real. And so I do believe it is because I mean we know us, right? Like I don't feel like we're in like this echo chamber of delusion. Like we know that we're sensible people who give everybody a fair chance. And you know whatever shit talk is behind the scenes, it's kept behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? For
Mhm.
whatever little thing it is, and we upfront treat everyone equal. We give everyone the same opportunity,
It was only
and
until very recently that we stopped welcoming every single new person that joined.
yeah, and if that makes us a piece of
You know
shit,
what
then
I
that's
mean? Like,
crazy.
we would specifically like message them, ask them like what they were here for, if they needed help. Like,
And if you don't see if you see someone asking for help and a mod isn't in there, there's already that game's tiny little community helping them out with something. Like nobody is fucking left on red here
Yeah.
for the most. I'd have to say for the most part, right? Even out of
Mhm.
the hundreds channel servers that we have, like people don't get left on red. People get the help that they need for the most part. We pretty much got eyes on it all time of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's
well, then you
just
go into every single channel and you look at like the pins, and it's just like it's either guides or it's like videos of tricks or it's like assembly files for like mods that we made for the game to like help us out or like
hmm
nothing. I mean, like we keep everything like I wouldn't say neat. Some of these pins are pretty
Yeah, it gets
NVG.
it gets pretty wild.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cannot find your
pretty
way
wild. But I
around.
mean, like all the info's there. Like like it's if you look for it, you can find it. You know what I mean? It's not like
And if it's not there, someone will make it for you.
yeah, or like you
Yep.
just ask, and if somebody knows the answer, obviously you know they'll help. Like
Hmm.
Like, bro, it's like I don't want to get one guide, right? Like it's just one guy, not a big deal. But I kind of wanted to bring it up just because it raises a bigger issue. You know what I mean? And I don't want people to think that IHS is some, again, back to the point, some kind of cloud chase or this, that, and the third. Like, bro, our number one goal is to have a community that is easily accessible, is fair, and is correct. That's it. Like,
yeah, I wanted to talk about this specifically because I mean it genuinely upset me. Like that day, like it fucked my day up when I like saw that message because like that's not how I want to be. You know, like I
yeah,
don't want people to like you said, it is one guy, and I've never had anybody else say like, oh, you're all terrible, whatever. But like, you know, I just don't want people to like that to be what people think.
I
Like
don't know.
I'm just like
I felt if
tell
he always
people
felt
and
like
like
that,
whatever.
felt if
But
he always felt like that, then he would have just left a while ago.
right.
yeah,
And that
I
was how
don't
he
get why.
truly felt, and wasn't like a lash out. So
Right. Yeah, man.
Zach's
Um,
picture just scared me. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, it's pretty
Scared
crazy.
me a little bit.
So yeah, I mean, realistically, a lot of these situations are very rare, right? Like we don't normally address things like this on the show, but this is why we have the platform, and we're here to kind of dive into things like this. You know what I mean? And again, I think it's just more of a sentiment for every speedrun community that if you have these weird runners that are gatekeepy and try to like care about times more than they care about growing the community, you don't need them around. You don't. You know what I mean? Like
Not everybody
speedrunning.
that comes through is gonna. Not everybody that comes into IHS is probably gonna care about IHS on some deep level. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like some people are
Hmm.
just gonna be here because it's just where the game is at or where the info or is at or whatever. And I mean that's fine. That's whatever. You know. But like for the people that do want a community and do want a place to like hang out and like you know have fun like even outside of just speedruns because I mean we do movie night and all this other stuff you know like it's like we want to make that like a you know a nice place. I mean even if you just come in and see like how he talked to that person you would be
Yeah,
like it's just weird you know.
a little bit off-putting. Yeah, and like me, like that's why I felt so strongly about it because like I didn't like the way the situation went down, and that's why I messaged him initially because like again like this is a grown man, so grown man to grown man, like you need to check yourself a little bit here because again we are playing video games, right? So again like even as deep as it gets for times and competition, like bro, this is why I speedrun. Is I love the competition, but there's no need to like take it out of game. And I think taking it out of game is where people go wrong. And you don't need to take it out of game, bro. You don't.
And people
So
do that way too much. They're like, "Well, I'm on the internet. I can say whatever I want to say."
yeah, and
It's like,
it's just not the way life
like
works,
you can,
man.
but you shouldn't. You shouldn't be able to fucking get away with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, not
Unless
cool.
you want us to take it out of the game and cover drama every week, then 750 likes on this YouTube
700,
video.
yo,
We got you.
this
just
motherfucker
keep upping.
just keep upping the likes. All right, we need 1K likes, and Vac showed ass.
Yeah, and we'll only cover drama from now on.
That's it. But yeah, man. So not
Just
to harp on
drama
that too
fans.
much, but I think that was a good discussion, and I think that was
I
something
think it
that
was
the
drama focused, but not mainly about the drama. It's
no
just about
no, it's bigger ideas here that kind of need to be discussed, and you know the futures of speedrunning is important to all of us, and you know we want to see the shit grow, and as big as it is, like it still has a long way to go. So yeah, man, just do better with each other, and you know help your fellow runners, and you know try to be nice to people, man, because speedrunning is like it's one of the most like interesting yet like serious hobbies there is, man. So like don't taint it with like some kind of like out of game weird toxicity, man. Like just don't do that, bro. Like you'll be all right. You know, you'll be all right. But yeah, man. We wanted to talk about that for a bit. So again, two kind of crazy subjects, but something that I thought was
There was a moral of the story. It wasn't just
yeah.
we're not just fucking flaming people.
No,
Mhm.
yeah. Definitely two larger points there that I think speedrunning as a whole has to take a look at. And you know, again, if the subject arises, we'll be sure to talk about it again. But again, we're not drama focused, you know, so don't expect too much of these. But
Unless you want it, then 750 likes.
then 1K
making
likes.
drama. Yeah.
Yeah,
PayPal
but
me $20 and I'll use an image of your choice next podcast.
next show, let's go. But yeah, man, any closing thoughts on any Droogie stuff, Niven stuff, anything like that?
Nah, I think we
Covered it
covered
all.
it pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just
I do have a
yeah.
question.
Sure.
What?
Mm-hmm.
When's the IHS merch?
Ah, shit. You know, there's a lot of people asking for that, but also,
Thousand like.
there's a lot of overseas people asking for that. So if you're not willing to pay like $50 for shipping, please don't ask.
Oh, it's fucking tough. Yeah.
Please don't ask because it's rough. It's very rough. But no, memes aside, man. We'll be looking to doing that. You know, if not next year, 2025 for sure. 2025 for sure. Definitely because we've had a few questions on. I'm always down.
Want to do it right. Want to make sure it's worth it whenever we do it. You know?
Right.
Mhm.
Like you say, we do have a ton of people that are outside of the U.S. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
that's
like
where
half the IHS crew is outside of the U.S. You know what I mean? Like,
right. So shipping to Australia isn't exactly ideal for New Zealand or
Rip diggity.
yeah EU. Like
And
it's
re.
like bro.
And Tim.
Even if we put these shirts at
Lit,
$25, bro, you're still gonna have to pay like a good 15. No count.
Yep. So basically, 1,000 likes on this video and it drops next
And
week.
we're dropping merch for sure. Oh, but yeah, man. Good talks, man. Good talks. I think that was very much needed, and we got a lot out today. You know, I think we need to do that show. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the crew, man. Next week we'll
on a
have a
positive
show.
note, keep your eyes out for the marathon stuff.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Very
no.
excited for that.
Marathon stuff's coming up. Again, we'll be ironing out details for that over the course of the next couple weeks. But next week we'll be running another show, so back to back.
Sweet.
Except we'll have a special
Mhm.
guest. We don't know who.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we do, but you don't know who.
we
You know
do,
that.
but
We do.
You guys
We don't
don't.
even
Wait,
know.
but you don't.
There's a podcast section in the Discord if you want to see something. We have places where you can put your ideas of what you want to see and topics and whatnot. So
Mhm.
people to
Questions,
discuss,
all that kind of stuff.
whatever.
Definitely, man.
If Moist Critical reacts to this podcast episode, everyone gets a free sock.
It's a
Yep.
The IHS sock.
yeah, just
Not a pair of socks, just one. Just one sock.
it's probably expensive as
Yeah.
shit to make too.
And smelly.
But yeah,
Yep.
man. That's the IHS crew signing off, man. Point is, be nice to your peers, be safe. We love you, and show next week. So expect that special guest, and of course, this will be uploaded on all platforms. So check our YouTube channel, anchor.fm/indie horror speedruns for all platforms, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. And make sure you follow us on socials. Link in bio, link in description, all that good jazz. It's been Vac, it's been Zom, it's been Plez, it's been Mild. We love you guys. Take care, and we'll see you on episode 7.
See you.
Deuces.
See ya.